This is my charting software, which currently only plot candlestick charts. But in this episode, I'm turning it into this, a charting tool that can plot both candlesticks and indicators. But this is TradingView, the software of a multi-billion-dollar company. So how am I supposed to achieve this? The answer lies in their free and open source library called Lightweight Charts. I've already used lightweight charts to plot the candlestick chart with my own data, which is stored in a database. If you want to see how I did that, check out the previous video linked above. Before I dive into implementing the indicators, I want to redesign the front end a bit. Let me show you my plan. Take a look at the symbol search feature in TradingView. On their chart page, you can easily search for and select a symbol which updates the chart instantly. When you click on the current symbol, a modal opens, allowing you to search for a symbol by typing its full name or even just a part of it. The results display a filtered list of matching symbols, complete with detailed information like the market type, whether it's crypto, stock, forex, and the exchange providing the data. Now here is my current symbol search. I have a basic drop-down that lists every symbol from my database, resulting in an overwhelming long list. I also have a second page that I call the data page that repeats this information with more details, leading to some redundancy and generally a less appealing interface. My goal is to combine these features to create a more user-friendly search experience similar to TradingView's. However, there is one key feature in my current data page that TradingView doesn't offer: the ability to add new symbols to the database. But how I'm going to achieve that, I'm showing you when I'm done. This was an 8-second time-lapse of what took me about 2 hours to finish. Now when I click on the current symbol, a modal for the symbol search opens up. I can clear the current search by clicking on the X button, which shows me a list of all the symbols from my database. I can scroll through the list and click on my desired symbol, or I can type a part of the name in the search bar. For example, if I want to find a USD symbol, I can type USD and it will show me all the matching symbols from my database. When I click on GBP/USD, for example, it requests a specific open high low close data from the database, closes the modal and plots the data on the chart. Now, how did I implement the feature to add new symbols to the database? In TradingView, you can obviously only use the predefined symbols and the data of their data providers. Therefore, there is no option to add a new symbol. So this is how I did it. In the symbol search, you can see a plus sign below the last listed symbol. I can either click on it directly or I type in a new symbol that I want to add. For instance, if I want to add BTC/USD, I can click on the plus sign to open a different view. In this view, I can fill out the form with the necessary information to store in the database. I can change the symbol name, add the exchange, set the minimum tick size for accurate price plotting, and specify the market type. Once I've filled in the details, I can click on Add Symbol, and the symbol will be added to my database. I won't add this just yet though. I plan to implement a file upload option later to directly upload historical data. But that's for another video. Now that we have redesigned the symbol search, it's finally time to add indicators to the chart. In TradingView, there's an indicator button that opens a modal where you can search for and apply various indicators. Now let's start by adding a similar button to our software that opens a modal to list the indicators I currently have. I decided against storing indicator information in a database format. Instead, I'm registering the indicators in my Python backend, which provides more flexibility during development. Currently, I only have the simple moving average defined, but adding new indicators will be straightforward. I just need to update this dictionary. For each indicator, I create a static info method that defines several key attributes: the displayed name for the front end, whether the indicator is drawn on the chart or in a separate pane, and the output series that will be plotted on the chart. For example, the simple moving average has a single output, the SMA line. It also has two parameters, the window size and the source. And I can set default plotting options here as well. Here's what it looks like in the front end. You can open the indicator search by clicking on the button. The search bar isn't very useful for now, but it already works. The next step is to apply the selected indicator to the chart when I click on it. I thought this implementation might be interesting for some of you guys, but adding indicators is going to take a few hours to get everything working seamlessly. So I decided to do something different this time. I will be streaming the coding process right here on YouTube. If you enjoy live streams and want to see more, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. The support might encourage me to do these more often. Now let's dive into the stream. Alright, we are done, and I'm excited to share that the first version is up and running. I can now successfully add indicators to the chart. When I add an indicator, it automatically appears in the top left corner on the chart, complete with two buttons, one for removing the indicator and another for opening its settings. Just like on TradingView, I can modify the settings directly from this interface. Changing the settings triggers a request to the backend to receive the data with the customized indicator inputs. When the frontend receives the new data, it updates the indicator on the chart. For now, I can still only add simple moving averages, but the process took a bit longer than expected. I aim to build a flexible framework that allows for easy addition of other indicators in the future. This means when I implement the next indicator, it should be much quicker and simpler. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, what indicator should I add next? Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.